Okay, thanks everyone for participating in that quick poll. So most of you on the line are serving clients with 1 to 5 servers. A few of you have a little bit more than that. Okay, that is perfect. That's right where our program starts. So you'll get pricing, you'll get a demo, and you'll get a lot of good information about our program. And I certainly encourage you to ask questions along the way. Please let me know if there's anything specific that you want to address. We do have John Wagner, our Chief Sales Engineer, here in the room. He will be doing a demo for you, and he'll be able to answer any of the specific technical questions that you have about our program.
Yeah, so she's going to go through an overview. You're welcome to ask questions if you want, but we will go through the technicality or during the demo of all the applications. So remember, that's another chance to ask some questions too.
All right, very good. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. So we're going to go through an industry overview, the SOS 360-degree partner program. SOS Server Saves features and benefits. So that is the software that you would use to serve those customers with servers on site that they need to back up, and data centers and infrastructure, pricing, and of course a product tour. So what's going on in the online backup industry? Some of you probably have a pretty good idea. Others may be a little bit newer to it. So I'll tell you how SOS Online Backup fits in. SOS Online Backup was started in 2001 and moved to the United States in 2006. Currently, we have over 500,000 active customers worldwide and nearly 1,000 value-added reseller partners. We're constantly updating our software to meet demands of the market as well as your demands. So rest assured that once you come on board, we'll be able to serve you new software updates likely on a monthly basis. So what is propelling the online backup adoption within the market? This is for home users as well as small and medium-sized businesses. Expansion of internet bandwidth. Many of you are probably very familiar with how the world changes when your internet gets a whole lot faster in your specific geographic location. One of the byproducts of that is that it allows users to put data up into the cloud much faster than they ever could before. And so they want to put more of it up there. There's been a decrease in hosted storage costs. So while we're putting more data up into the cloud, simply having the cloud has become more cost efficient. The technical sophistication of the population also lends to this. So you see in the upper right of the screen, we have a chart about where cloud backup kind of lives today in the innovation adoption life cycle. We're still in the early adopters, early majority area. We have not yet reached the late majority. However, online backup as an industry is moving nicely along this curve. As that happens, more users, of course, know what online backup and what cloud backup is. They feel more comfortable with it. You, as an IT provider, have to spend less time explaining it and more time selling it. We have also seen a significant increase in size and value of digital data. We're creating digital data right now. You probably are too. We're recording this webinar, and we are going to put it up in the cloud when we're done and make sure that you guys can access it later. Everyone's doing this around the world constantly. Your customers are, their customers are, everyone is creating data, and it's very important to protect it. So what is the coming boom in online backup adoption? It is small and medium-sized businesses. An analyst firm called IDC recently did a survey which concluded that 69% of small and medium-sized businesses are currently evaluating or planning to use online backup. Only 16% are currently using it. That's a huge amount of opportunity for you. Online backup outperforms tape in cost and reliability. So online backup's cost will soon fall below on-premises tape and disk cost while providing vastly superior functionality. And there's one inherent feature about online backup that tape just cannot do, and that is off-site. It's off-site in a secured location. So if the area that you live in has any concerns about natural disasters, or perhaps the business that you're serving has a requirement that data be backed up off-site, online backup is a far superior option than tape. Peter has a quick question. 69%, is that worldwide? Yes, I believe it is, Peter. So what are SMBs looking for? If there's 69% worldwide that have yet to adopt online backup, what are they looking for? Well, they are actually looking to receive a complete end-to-end protection that backs up workstations, servers, laptops, and mobile devices and they want to receive it from someone in their area. They want to receive it from an IT consultant or an MSP that has their expertise in serving businesses like theirs, that they have their expertise in online backup, because backup is probably not an area of expertise or a core competency for that organization. They're focusing on other things. They're focusing on managing their medical practice, managing their hotel, managing their CPA firm. They're focusing on other things. They're not focusing on data backup and due diligence, but you can provide that service for them. So what's in the SOS 360-degree Partner Program? This is our complete, we call it a business in a box program. It enables you to start selling in less than 3 weeks. You could really even start selling sooner than that if you wanted to. So how do we do that? First of all, we give you a website presence. If you don't already have a web presence, this is a really great tool. If you already have a web presence, still a great tool, because what you get is the capability of selling online backup online on your website. You'll get access to our APIs, which allow you to provision accounts and sell accounts via a website. And this is at no cost. Flexibility to update the content on the website template. So I've included a little example screenshot here on this slide. This lets you see you can customize the content on the home page. You can customize the buttons. You can customize the images. You can customize the colors. Once it's handed off to you, it does include CSS and HTML customization. It's very simple. John will show you a little bit about that later. It's very easy. It includes integrated billing. So when you purchase from us on a wholesale basis, you can then resell at whatever margin you like. You can resell through this website, and it's all very simple. And the money never passes through our hands. We offer award-winning software, which we, of course, rebrand with your logo. There's no hardware purchase required, which you'll find a lot in this industry. There's often a box that is required for purchase that's $2,000 or $3,000, and we do not do that. The program is very simple, and you can pay on a monthly basis or on an annual basis if you like. We provide weekly live sales trainings. We also provide post-sales business development support. So if you have questions about how to get your online backup business off the ground, so maybe you're trying to work on a pitch, we have a business development manager in-house. His name's Mike Zarudny, and he's here to help you with all of that. We have a quick question from Marius Els. What is the average time to back up 1 gig over a 1 meg line?
Well, typically on that, I've seen where it might take overnight sometimes. We are compressing files. We do transfer files very, very fast. We have some new technology implemented a few months ago that actually gives a 40% gain. Here's another typical estimate is on a 768K upload connection, that's close to a meg, but for 50 gigabytes, that's going to take you, between 3 and 5 days. Now, I say between 3 and 5 days because it could be faster depending on how many files you have to upload, not just the size. Go ahead, Shayla.
Thanks, John. So if you're looking into other solutions, you might be looking at some of these guys, Intronis, Doyens, Asigra, XC Backup. Let me know if any of those ring a bell for you. SOS offers a very different program than any of them do. So I've already mentioned that SOS does not require a hardware purchase, which makes our program inherently more flexible, but we are very sales and business development focused. Once you're online, we want you to sell more. We want to be able to help you to sell more. We want to free you and give you the flexibility to sell however you need to sell, which is why we offer the website template and website integration package, as well as hosted billing. We offer rebranded marketing materials and rebranded sales materials, which you'll find in a handy little site called the Partner Resource Center. We do offer 8x7 partner support, which I think may actually, it's probably more than 8 hours a day now, isn't it? We're actively.
It is 24 by 5. And then we have support on the weekends, which basically is people who are on call for about 9 hours on the weekends. And then we also chat, it's 24 by 7. So we have lots of coverage for all of our partners globally.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, John. And we find this to be very important because, as you guys know, when you're out there in the field and you're working, unexpected things happen. And they could be technical or administrative from the point of view of our program. So we want to be able to be there to help you out with that. So where are data centers? This is probably very important to you. We currently have data centers in the UK, US, Canada, and Australia. We'll be launching a South African data center really within the next 2 weeks. Should be
actually, yeah, you're right.
Months.
We're going to be deploying that equipment actually this week, and hopefully we can be set up next week and the week after.
Yeah, so backing up in South Africa, backing up in Cape Town is something that's necessary or of interest to you. Talk to our partner specialist about it. They could definitely get you set up with that. And this program does back up Exchange, SQL, Windows, and more. And we'll pause for a quick question from Marius. Can you back up Lotus Domino databases?
Now, in regards to Lotus Domino databases, I know that Lotus Domino, they keep their each mailbox as a separate file instead of one big database. And typically that's just done by a folder and file backup of each of those. Additionally, the image creator software will pick up those databases. Now, there's only one thing there, is that if you're on a version of Lotus Domino that does have its own VSS writer installed, our image creator software will use that VSS writer to do the backup. But if there's not a VSS writer associated with that, what that means is we'll still be able to back up those Lotus Domino databases, the individual ones, but they won't be backed up transactionally consistent like SQL or Exchange because they have their own VSS writers. We can even back up Oracle because it has a VSS writer.
Cool. Thank you. Got a couple questions about pricing. We will go over pricing closer to the end of the presentation, so no worries about that. John asked, is it possible to send you the first backup in the form of an HDD so that the rest are just update backups?
So we have a method called PMU on our website, on our support website. If you were to go there and search knowledge base and type in PMU, which means physical media upload, we give all the details of how we do that.
So yes, that's absolutely possible, and we certainly encourage you to take advantage of that feature when you come online. So the SOS product suite. This is a very handy slide that shows just how a business could back up absolutely everything within their company. We have servers, and that includes operating system and application support, central administration, monitoring, reporting. We've recently made some huge improvements to our monitoring and reporting functionality, which John will show you. And of course, within the program, you can do laptop and workstation backup as well. You can use an optional local staging server. Like I mentioned earlier, we do not require that you purchase hardware from us. This optional local staging server you can create on your own. Absolutely up to you.
Yeah, and just to add on to that, you know, like Chan said before, there's all these competitors that are trying to sell just the image backup solution, and they're requiring you to buy expensive hardware. We're giving you a lot more. Of course, the online backup piece of it is something that our competitors don't have, but you'll still need a local backup device to back up to. So we're not requiring you to buy anything. So you can choose how you want that done. You can add a hard drive to an existing desktop. You can buy NAS if you wanted to, and so on. So you have the choice to do that and not pressure the customer to buy hardware.
Thanks, John. So what are the features and benefits? Let's break down again what SOS Server Save is. So SOS Server Save is a very important product because it allows you to back up all of your SMBs and even enterprise clients if you've got them, all from one program and from one portal. It includes Exchange, backup, and granular recovery. So if you have customers, maybe legal customers, are particularly interested in this feature, you can recover mail, message, contacts, anything that's really an inbox item. You'll also be able to restore deleted files and be regulation compliant. Particularly in the U.S., we have a lot of regulations for financial companies. Many financial companies have to store customer records for up to 7 years. So this feature is extremely important to them. Bare metal image creator. John just talked a bit about this. This is our bare metal backup solution. So you can back up and create bare metal images of Exchange, Windows servers, SQL servers, SharePoint servers, and file servers, and then use Online Backup and Recovery Manager to send these bare metal images to the cloud. So there are a lot of solutions out there that claim to be bare metal backup, but they're not bare metal cloud backup. Local and cloud backup, of course, are very different things, as you guys know. This program also includes workstation backup. This is file and folder backup and recovery from laptops, workstations, file servers, and files and folders. And we do not limit backing up of videos or backing up of certain sizes of photos. We're completely flexible in that regard. For mobile, we do offer generic iPhone backup application. We do not yet have a generic Android application, but it is coming very, very, very soon. And of course, web integration. So you will be able to sell online backup via your own website. I'll pause here for a question from Peter.
Oh, I'm sorry. And then one more thing, I just want to mention that we do have a mobile website that is generically branded for you guys. So if being that we don't have the Android app or even Firefox, but on a smartphone, the customers can go to a generic website and they can recover or share files, and that'll get you by until we have that Android app come out.
Yeah, absolutely. We do think it's very important that everybody be able to access files mobilely, because you never know where you're going to be, and you will probably always have your smartphone with you. So I will pause for a quick question from Peter. Why is the pricing more if our clients back up in South Africa instead of backing up all the way to the U.S.? It is bandwidth and storage costs. So while bandwidth and storage costs overall around the world are decreasing on average, in some countries it is slightly more than others. So we are simply compensating for that. And we do have a competitive question, so fortunately we are getting there right now. Bash has a good question about how we compare with Mozy Pro or LiveDrive. So SOS ServerSafe is a very different product than basic Mozy. If I understand correctly, Mozy Pro does do bare metal, but I'm not certain that they do bare metal to the cloud. I do have to waver on that a little bit because I'm honestly not that sure. LiveDrive differs largely within the reseller program in and of itself. It doesn't do any rebranding. I know that for certain. And Bash, if you do want to let me know who your partner specialist is, I'll make sure that I get you some more detailed information about both those competitors later on. And if you don't know who your partner specialist is, that's okay. Just say that you don't know, and we'll get you hooked up with somebody, and we'll get you all of that detailed information. So SOS ServerSafe is in a very different world than regular Carbonite and Mozy are. I've recently been learning more about the new Carbonite reseller program and what they offer. They do offer a product that does local bare metal, but they do not send it to the cloud, which is extremely important if you are trying to hedge against natural disaster or any other potential on-site accidental deletion. It's very important to send your bare metal backups off to the cloud, which SOS ServerSafe, of course, does. SOS ServerSafe does this for pretty much any Windows-based device, Exchange, SQL, SharePoint, Windows, and, of course, file servers. And as John also mentioned, we've recently released new editions of the software that allow us to do encryption on the fly, so really in transit. And this certainly speeds up the upload process a great deal. So SOS ServerSafe rivals a different breed of competitor. If they don't really compete with Carbonite and Mozy, well then who is it? It's guys like Zenith, Intronis, and eVault from a technical standpoint. And SOS ServerSafe differs greatly in the flexibility of license usage. So while most competitors will allow you to purchase a certain number of licenses, you'll have to pay separately for them, or maybe only be able to buy a small number of them. SOS ServerSafe does not force you to do that. You'll also have a great deal of mobile access. Like John mentioned, there is a generic mobile application that's available. You can also use the partner dashboard flexibly anywhere you want, which gives you mobile access to your central management and reporting. And transactionally consistent backups. This is, John alluded to this a bit earlier, transactionally consistent backups are a special kind of bare metal backup that are really ideal for SQL and SharePoint servers. Any server that's focusing on transactions and tracking changes on a very, very rapid basis. Transactionally consistent bare metal backups ensure that a backup won't occur when data is being transferred. It will only ever occur after or before a data transfer has taken place.
Yeah, so we're just trying to tell you guys that if you have critical systems that need to be backed up, we will get transactions properly. In some cases, the logs will be truncated. In some cases, they won't, depending on the database. And that's just by the database design. It's not that our software is limited here, but you'll also be able to back up these databases during the day while the business is up and running, and it won't be affected.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really important for businesses that are storing customer data. Customer data is actually the most commonly lost type of customer data. In the U.S., we sell backup to like restaurants and retail locations that do a lot of customer transactions, primarily because of PCI compliance. So data centers and infrastructure. We do presently have a data center in London, and we will soon be opening a data center within South Africa. So like John said, we just got the materials this week, and it should be able to be up and running perhaps next week.
Yes,
so
right.
if you do need to back up within South Africa and you want to go live by, say, August, sign up with us now, and we should be able to do that for you. Mary has asked, do you back up MySQL databases?
Yes, we do definitely back them up. However, MySQL does not have its own VSS writer. So yeah, back them up, no problem. But if there's VSS writer that gives you transaction consistent backups, hopefully you understand what I mean by that.
Cool, thanks, John. So all our data centers are secured with 24/7 watch, video surveillance, biometric credential requirements, backup generators. Generally, they include enough diesel for 3 days. And temperature and humidity control. So these are military-grade data centers. They are highly, highly secure. It's impossible to get into them. SOS employees can't even get into them. Additionally, SOS employees cannot break the encryption code. So all of our data is military-grade secured on the way to the data center as well as at rest in the data center. So we've had some questions about pricing. And here it is. You do have the option to back up to the United States, to London, to South Africa. You really can back up to wherever you'd like. For most of you on the line today, it would certainly be most beneficial to back up to London or South Africa. As I briefly mentioned before, there is a slight surcharge if you do want to back up to a specific data center, particularly in South Africa, because of bandwidth and hosted storage costs being slightly higher. And I believe that this percentage is approximately 15%. So that, of course, means that you can pass that charge on to your customers, and it's not anything that's going to break the bank for them. The value of online backup is extremely high, and even higher if any of your customers have ever had data loss. Then they know just how important it is to be able to get their data back, and paying a few $100s a month to back up an entire business won't seem all that out of the budget if they've ever experienced data loss or know that they are likely to do so. So we do offer flexible plans available to help you get your online backup business started. So for many of the plans that you see below, we can certainly customize them for you. We can add gigabytes. We can add server licenses. We can make your own plan. SOS does not limit your margin or take a commission. So what you see here is what you'll pay. Anything that you make on top of that is completely yours to keep. Add server licenses or gigabytes to grow your business. And we also offer business development assistance after you get started. So I mentioned our lovely Mike Zarudny. He will be here to help you do pitches, to do basic marketing plans, to think about who you might want to sell to, and just get your online backup business going. He's also available to do some light technical and administrative assistance if you don't want to go to the support team. But we certainly recommend that you use that team as well, since they are available in your time zone and they are available 7 days a week. So Bash has a question about the monthly price. So what is the monthly price for? The monthly price gives you, if we start on the left, an SOS ServerSafe 5 gives you 5 server licenses and 1 terabyte, so 1,024 gigabytes of cloud space. It is $399 USD. This breaks down to a monthly cost per server license of $80, but it is a cumulative cost of $399, and that gives you the 1 terabyte and 5 server licenses. And you can distribute them and provision them however you like. The 1 terabyte of space does not mean that you have to provision it with your server licenses. You can provision it on laptops, workstations, wherever you like. And we suggest that the average retail price for 1 server license and approximately 200 gigabytes of backup for that server be about $129 a month. So if you did that, if you sold all of your 5 server licenses and all of your gigs, you'd be making about $246 per month.
And I would just add, we suggest that price, here in the U.S. So you guys might be able to charge more for that, depending on your rates there, and make more money.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially since those of you in South Africa or other locations in Africa are really in an emerging market for online backup. There may be certain businesses that are interested in paying a premium. And again, this is all to your advantage, of course, because we don't take any kind of commission and do not charge you or limit your margin. So your wholesale basis is simply your wholesale basis. It's very simple. Great question from Peter. What's the difference between server and backup licenses? So a server license pertains solely to a server. A backup license pertains to a laptop or a workstation.
Well, I just want to add on that too. The backup licenses, that's the online backup and recovery manager software. So that's doing your folder and file backup for your Macs or your Windows machines. And Windows machines, that can include, it can be lots of desktop and a server too. We have many customers that they back up their file server with SOS online, folder and file backup online. But also, we've always said for years that everybody needs to have a local backup on their servers. We used to recommend it. And we used to recommend it before we even had an awesome server, local backup software as an image. So we would say, hey, do you have local backup running? You need this. Make sure you have that going. And then we're like, hey, we're missing out on some money. So we decided to get in the business of doing that too. So you will be able to back up your file servers, desktops, laptops, and your Macs with the backup licenses there. And then the server licenses are for local backup as an image.
Thanks, John.
Sure.
Are there any other questions about the pricing? I would just like to add, while we wait for those questions to come in, that of course the more you buy, the more of a price break you get. So by selling SOS ServerSafe 25, which is 25 server licenses, you could make effectively over $2,000 per month if you were to provision and sell all of these server licenses. So some of you have businesses with more than 5 servers within them. This is ideal for you. This is where you really start making your money. And to boot, it's recurring revenue, which is great for your business and for your business model. So you won't just be doing one-time services or one-time data recovery. You'll be performing a service and offering a service on an ongoing basis. Bash asked a great question. Would you suggest charging a customer for backup licenses for PC or Mac? Absolutely, and with our program, you have the freedom to decide to do that or not to do that. Depending on the customer, you may want to give it to them just as a freebie, or you may want to charge them for their gigabytes for PC and Mac completely separately. And I would certainly recommend doing it because you are a managed service provider. At the end of the day, you aren't just selling them gigabytes, but you're selling them a service. And SMBs are particularly interested in having that one-on-one contact and having that expertise within you come to their business and give them advice, make sure that all their data is protected. It's a form of insurance a bit in a way, and you are the insurance agent. You are there to protect all of their data for them, and they'll form a relationship with you, and they will trust you. And there is no reason that you should regard laptop and endpoint backup any differently than you do server backup. It's still important. It's still the majority of employee and customer data are stored on laptops and workstations, and it's very important to the business. So yeah, I would definitely recommend charging for that. So if there are no more questions on pricing, oh, great question. Will you get a copy of the slideshow? Yes, you will. You can get a video, or I can also have this PowerPoint presentation sent out to you, no problem. So if there are no more questions on pricing or the plan at this point, I'll go ahead and toss the controls over to John, and John will show you a demo of the software and the website integration package.
All right. Hope you guys are excited to see this part. Let's see here. You doing that? Thank you.
Sorry, guys. Just hold on 1 second.
I can do it here, too.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right. All right, hopefully everybody can see the screen that I'm on right now. If you can't, let me know. Let me just open the questions here so I can see what you're writing me. Okay, great.
So John is going to take you through Image Creator, the SOS ServerSafe installer, so you'll get a sense of exactly how simple it is to launch this program. And of course, there's user guides and other information available. And as we've mentioned, extensive technical support assistance. But John will set this up in less than 30 minutes, probably even faster than that. So you'll get a good sense of just how simple it is and also how complete it is.
Thank you, Shaylin. So I have on the screen here, what I have here is just on our website, the SOS Server Solutions. You can see there. I'm showing you that because you're going to want to get a summary of what we talked about and go over it again. You might have some questions. And this slide is made to be collateral as well. I know you guys want to get the slide deck too, but this site does a pretty good job of saying, hey, we have workstation laptop backup. It gives you a little summary of that. So this is pretty great for that. Bare Metal Image Creator, Backup Recovery Manager, Exchange Grant Recovery, Enterprise Services. So summary there, and then also over here under features, it just dives into it a whole lot more. Okay, so you already know what we have. Just a reminder, we're doing bare metal backups using local backup software, and we're doing only backup folder and files on Macs and PCs. We also are doing only backups of your images, and we're also doing Exchange Grant Recovery, so as you need that. And then we also have a bunch of other apps, like web apps, that we use for your customers or for yourself. And I'll go through all that right now. I want to start out with the partner dashboard, and the partner dashboard here is what our partners would use on a day-to-day basis. And you can see the first thing you see there is Central Monitoring Portal, Central Management Portal, excuse me. That's what you probably use every day. Well, before you can get there, you need to, of course, create an account. So you would go in here and you would create an account for your customer by clicking Add New Account, and you would choose the backup size for them as well. You fill out this form, choose the backup plan you want. The price that you see there is kind of irrelevant. This is the price that actually you would set to be displayed on your e-commerce website that we actually host for you, which is right here. And I'm sorry, that's not it. Which is right here, and I'll go back to that in just a minute. So when you're creating an account manually for a customer, you would ignore that. But you create an account for a customer, and if they were going to have a server backup as an image, local backup as an image, you'd go in here. Oops, I got to log in again. You go to this place, Manage Licenses, and you would assign this username or that username you just created to one of the set of licenses. And then once you do that, you're able to use this really great little installer we built called ServerSafe.exe. And what you do is you're able to, let me minimize this, you're able to just run this little application here and log in as that new user you created. And you're then able to download and install the software and license it. So that makes it very convenient. So I log in. Now you won't have to do this every single time. This is just to install the applications. And we have an update too, so we have a lot of update in here. Say, hey, there's a new version. Do you want to update it? I definitely do. And it's already been updated. Just log in again. It's pretty fast. So when I log in, you can see that I already have the Only Backup and Recovery Manager installed. I already have Bare Metal Image Creator installed in NEGR. On the right, this fourth icon, this is for some of our older partners. It's an older version of our software, and some of them are still using that. And some of them, like using it, depending on how it works, but it does not have our newest technology for the fastest backups. So this will be phased out, at some point this year, but no date. So these are already installed, but I still want to go through it with you. On each icon here, your customer or you can click on this. Of course, it is already running, so I can't open it. When the programs are not installed, you click on the icon, and of course I can't show you that. I can't show it to you because it's connected to the programs. I actually can launch a program. I click on this, and even though it does do that, that's not really what the executable is for. You click on these icons, and you get two buttons. It'll say download, and downloads it, and then you hit install. Great. After you're done installing, here's your license key. So we assign the licenses to this in the partner dashboard, and here's the license file for AGR and so on. So you're able to download, install, and license. That's pretty great. And that's pretty much what it's used for. If your customer is going to be doing this themselves and want some assistance, they click on Set Up Backup, and depending on what they're looking at, this will give them a suggestion on what we should say they do. Online Backup Recovery Manager and Bare Metal Image Creator for file servers. Support and manage how much they're using, or more space, contact us, and so on. All right, I'm going to close this. The first thing I want to show you is the Online Backup Recovery Manager. We're very proud of this. We made this very simple to use, set up easy, easy, be able to access it very quickly. What I mean by that is you install the product, you're able to just log in and go. There's no activation necessary. So if your customer is at a different site, or say they're out of the country and they need to get a lot of files back, they can just download the software, log in, your name will show up and your logo will pop up, and they'll be able to actually recover lots of files using the Restore Wizard or Classic View, which I'll show you in a second. I say that because a lot of our competitors require you to activate and pay more money for license in order to just install the software anywhere they please. We don't do that. So, okay. So we do have set up local backup. This is designed for folder and file backup on PCs. It's not designed for servers because we have Image Creator for that. So I just want to forewarn you, it's not designed for servers because you will see that if you use this on a server for lots of files, performance isn't that great. So, but the online backup software is designed to move pretty fast and back up thousands of files, millions of files. The first thing you see when you do set up online backup is this select files to protect, this scanner. And this can be very helpful to you or some of your customers if they don't know where the data is. All you're doing here is you're saying, I want to back up, these 5 categories. In documents, you can see, and we've included lots of different file types there that will automatically be backed up and detected. And then you go down here to custom and edit it, and you can include folders for backup. You can exclude folders and file types. You can include more file types right here, whatever you like there. So that's nice for a lot of customers. Now, if you're like me, you want to just select it manually because you want the control. And now we just have a simple tree here. So we can back up the desktop, favorites, documents of the logged in user. We can just go and just back up information on the E drive there. Typically, let's say this is one of your backup servers or file server, you'd be backing up data possibly on the C drive, and you'd be backing up maybe your images as well. So you see I have those checked there. Additionally, we now have NAS drive support, or I could say network path support for UNC. So I could actually add the UNC path of a folder share here and back it up. So that's really nice too. Some of our partners or customers will save their ShadowProtect images, their Image Creator images on a network share, usually the NAS. And being that they can't install the software on the NAS, they want to back up the network location. Okay, I showed you that. Now I'm going to run a backup for you guys. Next screen here is just say, hey, when do you want it to run? And you want to put your email address in here for a report. You definitely want to do that. The email report is very important because it tells you if there was files not backed up, lost backup, and it tells you what those files are too by name in that report. So you want to look for that every single day when that runs. Now that's for your customer mostly. Maybe it's for you as well. And we will have extra reporting in the Central Management Portal that you can also look at. Is the email report also white labeled? Yes, it is. Yeah, we don't put SOS on any of the partner related applications. It's all rebranded, or some of it, and actually some of the stuff is generic too. Okay, that backup is running down here in my tray, and it's doing what we call a streaming backup. So what it does is on little files, it just uploads them very fast, and while it's uploading them, it's doing compression and encryption real quick. On the larger files, you can see here it's doing about 10 megabytes at a time. and that's how we get that done too. So a large file, we can't just push it because we have to compress and encrypt first. And you don't want any online backups happening without that happening, because then it'll be less secure. Okay, so I'll let that run. I'm going to go over to the Restore wizard, Online Restore. This is where you recover lots of folders and files based on date. So I want to recover a folder from a couple different machines. Maybe I have an outage, or maybe I just delete some files, whatever it is. But you can select information from multiple places. So let's say I want to recover this file here, or maybe folder. Okay, I could do the whole thing if I want to. Test backup there. I could also go over here to another system and select something else. The purpose of me showing you this is that you can do a recovery of multiple folders from multiple systems, which is real nice. Now, on my recovery location, I usually will modify this to the root of a hard drive when I have this box checked, include original path. I do that because I don't want to have any extra super long file names when I do my recovery. Keep in mind that a file name consists of the computer name, C, users, John Wagner, downloads, test backup, whatever that file name is. That file name is basically the path of that file. So that's why you have to be conscious of that. So I usually recover to the root of a hard drive because we're going to create a folder based on the original path of those files. So that'll start. That's going to download the files, decompress them, decrypt them automatically. I'm going to jump into Classic View, keeping things rolling. Classic View is also a place where you can recover files. However, it's also a place where you can go and delete folders and files. The difference with the Classic View, another difference besides just deleting, is that you will be able to recover files based on version if there's a version drop down next to that file. You see here, I do have a different version here. And this one was basically at an earlier time. So I can select my version, and I can right-click, and I can recover, and the same wizard pops up. If I don't want the original path of a file, I can just uncheck this box and hit OK, and it recovers just the file. And I won't need to worry about file name links. Okay, moving on, there's a couple other methods of recovering files. I'm going to let this keep going so you guys can see that. Okay, so in our as far as your customers, they have their own web login, and I probably need to re-log into this. Yes, I do. So your customers will be able to have a web login from the e-commerce website we give you, and they can do the same thing. They can go to one of their systems. They can see their drives there. Just keep drilling down to where they want to get to, and they can find a file. You can see here I have some files here. I have some versions I can choose from. I can recover this file right here in the browser. There we go. That was quick. I can share with somebody. Now, I love the sharing feature a lot because you can get a file to a user in under a minute just by going to the website. With this system here, it will send the user, here is that file you lost. Haha, you owe me one. So you can be a little cute in the messages too, but let's say you have an office manager or somebody that needs to get a file back to another employee. They can just share with them. It's much faster than going and recovering the file and then emailing it to them. If it's larger than 5 megs, you might have an email problem. But this is very handy. With this system, the sharing system, the recipient will receive an email with a link to then download that folder or file. And then, of course, you can unshare that file so they can't forward the link around and share it to other people. Now, one other thing I want to tell you guys is that this system allows you to share or recover any folder or file up to 500 megabytes. So if you need to recover anything larger than 500 megs, you just use the software client like we have here, where it's recovering lots of files. There's no limit on that. Okay. There's also some great reporting. Your customer will want to see, hey, I want to see my daily backups for my servers. You can see here, this one Wagner backed up on the 7th, backed up 343 megs on that day. So customers do want to see that kind of thing. The other report gives you a summary of all your machines. You see I have more here. This test server is backing up 102 gigs in total, and that's over the lifetime of the account and last backup date. So your customers can enjoy that. We also have a mobile website. You can see right here, I can log in. This is from a smartphone, just m.managedoutsitebackup.net. It is generically branded. There's no SOS name mentioned here. And I can pick my system, and I can recover some data. Now on a smartphone, this would be a lot more smushed together. It would look a lot better. It's spread out on this browser window I have, but you're still able to go to your files, find them, click on the file, click share or download, and get it back right away. The next thing I want to show you guys, I'm just moving on as far as showing you things. I don't have any questions. So the next thing I want to show you, here's a sample of the e-commerce website that we build and host for you. And once we get this set up, you guys are then able to then change the information inside of it. So if you don't like something, you can edit it. And there is, like Shane said before, there is an editor in the back-end web portal we give you to do that. So customers go here, sign up for a backup account, pay with their credit card. You can also use PayPal Pro, so they can sign up with PayPal or with a credit card. They can choose. The money goes into your account. We're not collecting any money. We're setting all this up in your name, so you can get money right away and get paid for online backup. And the site here is, of course, to help you sell it. A little bit of marketing as well. A customer can go there. They can log in to the web if they want to access their files right here, and so on. Got a question. So you sort out the collecting from the client and pay us. Actually, no, we don't pay you. This e-commerce website is set up with your merchant, so everything's going to be in your name. So when someone pays with a credit card or they pay with PayPal, you're going to get an alert that someone just paid you money, and you get all of it. you paid us up front, so we're not going to collect any more money from you. Okay. So I went through that. I'm going to go through the central monitoring portal. You can see here we have a bunch of systems in here. This is one of our demo servers. So the red is failed backups or backups completed but haven't had a backup in the last week. All of our partners want to see the red stuff first and see the issues. Now, you may not have this many customers that haven't had a backup during the last week. It's just because we've had free trials or something on there, people doing tests, and the backup's not running anymore. So we go here, we want to remove this record, and hit apply, and then we can get rid of some of the ones that are old or not there. Typically, what's going to happen though is you're going to have your customers backing up all the time, so you won't see as much red in here. You're going to see red in here when an existing customer that is running backups. You'll see in here where it has errors or backup couldn't run, and that's what you want to see. So we also get the ability to clean it up too. And when a backup is running in progress, you should be able to see that as well. And right here, our backup just completed. You saw the page change, and it just completed right now. So here he is uploading. Actually, it's still running. That's what I wanted to show you guys. So in real time, it is almost real time. It might be like a 5-minute delay, but it shows that it's running. I can look at here at the plus sign, and I can see some activity. Not quite yet, but it shows it's running. So orange is for errors. All right, I'm going to move on, guys. Let's have any questions. Okay. Well, the other thing I want to show you guys is the updates and news. Seriously, version 5.3 just came out. New version of our software that has the NAS support. There's also news here. Read that stuff. We had a new guide come out recently on June 26th, and so on. Partner Support Hotline. Call us if you have any questions or help. All right, no questions there. I'm going to move on to Bare Metal Image Creator. Bare Metal Image Creator is Shadow Protect. It's powered by our partner StorageCraft. We're very happy to use this software as it works very, very well. The software does have built-in centralized management. You can see here I click on a different machine name. I can hit connect, and I'm now actually connected to the Shadow Protect instance on that machine, and I can look at the backup jobs. I can look at the destinations. I can see files there, and I can open up and verify those files I want to. I can look at backup history. I can set up a new backup job if I want, and so on. That's pretty great. Centralized management, and does have its own reporting as well. So you will be able to set up reports after you set the backup job, and I'll do that right now. So with this software, again, just want to remind you, it is local backup software as an image. I select my disks here and I want to back up. I select my location. Typically, you're going to select a network location, like a Windows share someplace, or maybe a NAS. Type in the UNC path here. Type in the name of your domain, if there is one, or the NAS name. Save that. You can also back up to a local drive. However, gentlemen and ladies, we do recommend you back up to a network share rather than a local drive. It's much more, it's recommended by us. Backing up to a local drive on the system could cause you some issues if that server goes down or can't back up to it if it has an issue. So network path is the best. We recommend the backup job type is continuous incrementals. This job type is the best because it basically uses the least local and online storage space for you. It means you don't need to monitor as much, and it creates one full backup the first time and just incremental images going forward. There's no need to do lots of full backups anymore. This has built-in self-healing, self-corruption detection. There's on the scheduler here, we have the top schedule and the bottom. Now, the bottom schedule you would use if you want to do multiple backups per day, where it's here maybe every hour or every 15 minutes. And be careful when you do that; it'll create lots of incremental images. That's fine. It just means that customer has requirements to back up more frequently, but they will require more maintenance in your part to monitor it, and also more local storage, online storage. The top portion is just one backup per day, so you can choose what you need there, depending on the customer's needs. The next screen here is options. We have standard compression recommended. We recommend that as well. Our partner, we believe that might be the most stable. However, we have lots of customers who also use high compression, but we do have to make a recommendation here, and ours is standard. You can enter a password on this or use a password file, depending on your needs and likes. After you do that, you can hit advanced here and choose your encryption algorithm and choose that. On the commands tab, you can import some scripts. Let's say the question we had about MySQL earlier. MySQL sometimes they don't really, if my memory serves me, they don't have a VSS writer. So you might maybe need to write a script to maybe stop that database and then start back up again, if that's what you so choose. However, we can still back it up live while it's running. This may not be transactionally consistent. On the image tab here, you can see we have self-healing. This is pretty great. So it's all automatic. If there's incremental image backup running and it has trouble doing so, let's say one of the VSS writers is locked up or whatever it may be, it will purge that backup so it won't create an incremental image. And next when the backup runs, it'll be in self-healing mode. And it's going to run a differential backup, which is almost like running a full, but not quite. Once it's successful, it'll then shrink it down to a typical incremental file size. The backup tab has performance throttling. So if you plan to run the backup during the day while your customers are running their business and you're worried about resources, you can throttle the backup down here, and basically they won't think that the server is very slow. And we also have the MD5 checksum file, which we recommend. Additionally, we also recommend that you split your images in the highest size here. This will help with your full backups being sent over. And what I mean by that is if you don't split your files, then you might have a 100 gigabyte first full backup image, and it'll be transferring and transferring and transferring, and let's say something happens, the machine reboots, you'd have to start your backup all over again. If it's in pieces or if it's split, then we start the backup from where we left off. Okay. I'm going to start this backup for you gentlemen and ladies, but keep in mind this will take several minutes to do, and I already have some backups that are completed. So we'll start this here, and I'll show you the details. It's self-checking before it starts. It looks for the VSS writers that are available. So it's pretty intuitive software, and we can always look at backup history and see previous history of any backups. And this will start running any second here. It's just doing these preliminary checks. And now I'm actually going to go to an image file I've already created and show you how that works. Okay, this is going to start, I promise. It's probably just lagging a little bit. After you get your backup job, you go to Agent Options, and you fill in the name or IP address of an SMTP server, and then you can fill the details there, and then you can tell it out you want to see a report on success, failure, or both if you like. See, the backup job has started. You see it's doing all its self-checking. It's very smart software. That's why we use it and recommend it, and it has pretty fast backup speeds. I'm going to go into recovery now. If you wanted to restore a partition or disk, you could use this restore wizard here. If I were to restore any basically disk other than the C drive, if you need to restore the C drive, you would use a recovery boot disk that we have. And you can use that to restore the same hardware, disk similar hardware, which is different hardware, or virtual environment. You just be able to mount that as an ISO and do recovery. Explore Backup basically is the mounting of an image as a drive letter, and I can do that with the software close. I'll show you that now. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to a folder. You see here in this folder in the E drive, this is where my backup destination is. And I have images here. I have a full image. I have an incremental image. I have another full down here below. But typically what you're going to be seeing is in your backup, you'll see one full backup and then just incremental images going forward. And you can do that, of course, for several months until you feel that you'd rather just execute another full backup. And then when you do so, you just want to keep in mind that you have these images in the cloud as well, and you may want to purge those to save some space. So I can right-click on any of these images, and I can use mount or quick mount. These options are available after the software is installed. So I'll do a quick mount, and pardon me, I already had the F drive mounted, and I'll just leave that there. So I'm going to get basically two drives here. So I have probably the same image mounted twice, which lets you do that. And then if I want to, I can always go to one of them and do quick dismount after I'm done. You definitely need to do quick dismount if you're going to do online backups, so otherwise it won't be able to back up the file. But with it mounted, I can then access other information that I might need. I can open up folders, I can copy and paste a file someplace else, or I can go to EGR. This is our Exchange Granular Recovery software, where I've already opened this up and pointed to the EDB file in that mounted image as a drive. So I'll show you that real quick. Open source, browse. You can see here I'm pointing to, I'm trying. It is a little slow because I'm running the image backup and I didn't throttle it down, so pardon me for that. So you can see we have this F drive here, and this F drive is our image mounted as a drive letter. And I will basically drill down into the Microsoft Exchange EDB file. Go to Mailbox, Mailbox Database, EDB. It finds the transaction logs as well, so you don't have to worry about that. And then down below, which is the target SBS 2011, I've already made the connection to my mailboxes, and so that lets you do that too. So you can connect one mailbox or all of them and do a drag and drop recovery. Do you have any questions regarding anything we saw in the backup or EGR? Make sure you guys are staying attentive and you still...
Yeah, we've gone through a lot of stuff, and John is the guy to answer any specific questions about any of these items. They're all very important. Of course, they lead to you selling online backup to businesses in your area. So please let us know. We're definitely here to answer your questions, and we're eager to answer your questions.
There we go. Now we're opening that up. Gentlemen and ladies, I'm going to stop this backup just so we can have quicker performance. Typically, I would have throttled it down, but I want to show you the other application, so I'm going to stop it. So you can see here we do have the source, which is our copy of our Exchange database file. We do have a connection down here to our Exchange mailboxes, and I'm going to show you that real quick again, that I can connect here, one mailbox, all mailboxes, domain controller, server name. This is going to check to make sure you have the right permissions to access those mailboxes. because you will need to give each mailbox full access to the user logged in as. So last admin here, and that succeeded. Okay, what I'm going to simulate for you is a user losing a file. So I go down here to user 1. And let's say they need to get this message back because they deleted it. Now I can go to my backup up here. I can use the search magnifying glass, whatever you want to call it. I can type in some criteria that's in the email. I can type in who it's from. You find a message there. Hopefully that's the right one. I double click on it and I open it. Yeah, that's the right message. That's the correct message. So I can then drag and drop this over to the inbox. Let go. It's going to copy it back in there. It does have duplicate protection, so if it's already in there, it'll say duplicate message not copied. So this drag and drop method, I can use it for any other item. I can open up their calendar or deal with items, and I can drag anything I want down there. Additionally, this does have mailbox recovery, so I can drag a whole mailbox down to the server name. It'll recover that. If the mailbox does not exist, it'll ask you if you want to create it. Same thing for the entire database. You can do entire database migration or database recovery by just dragging that down there, and it'll rebuild everything for you. Okay, no questions on EGR? Well, that was a quick summary of everything we have to offer right there. Do we have any questions, concerns? Right now is the time to ask it.
So we've gone over Exchange Granular Recovery, Partner Dashboard, Central Monitoring and Reporting, Image Creator, and also the Online Backup and Recovery Manager tool. So that is the complete reseller program. That's everything that you need to get started selling online backup to SMBs, enterprises, and residential users. Please let us know if you have any questions. We'll hang on for another 30 seconds or so if you've got any. Okay, it looks like we don't have any more questions, so we'll go ahead and sign off, and thank you all very much for your time and letting us show you our 360-degree partner program. And before you take off, do let us know if you don't know who your partner specialist is. We'll get you hooked up with the right person to talk to.
And then also, in regards to that, you can also call the main sales line. It's 877-896-3611. I have it listed right here at the top right. And you would click Partner Inquiries and make sure you give them your name or your company name. They'll search in our database. They'll be able to find who your partner specialist is that way too if you don't know who it is right now or you don't have time to type it.
And there is an international number, which is 310-878-2626. You can also contact us there. I'll put that number in the chat.
And I'll go to our Contact Us page for that. All right, no more questions?
Thank you very much for your attention, and we hope you all have a great evening.